All right, here we are with a front shot. It's a nighttime shot, so we'll get straight to it. I'm in Adobe Bridge right here. I've got all my raw images here ready to go through and select. I'm going to use this one as my base. Make some adjustments, cool the image down. It's way too warm. Make sure it's a little bit brighter than it needs to be. Make sure the color balance is good. And I'll come back into Camera Raw and select some images for the overexposed areas. Primarily focusing on the lights themselves. Just drag that onto my document here. Come back into Camera Raw and go down a little bit further. And that's good. And I'll use that for the lights themselves and stuff like that. I'm trying to keep the sky nice and light. So this is really basic. I'm just going to apply a mask and start painting that in. Just paint that in carefully. Don't want to go over bounds, right? You don't want to, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to paint it in and then have this area really, really dark and then have the spillover into the sky and then have it lighter up here and then darker into this sky area because you painted it in so much, right? Because it's not like I'm creating a selection or anything like that. It's kind of unnecessary to create a selection just for this. It doesn't really require it. If your particular images need that, then absolutely do it. But this particular image does not require it. This is a really simple image to edit. I would like to go back into Camera Raw real quick and just double check that I'm using everything that I could. I'm going to duplicate this layer and delete that layer mask, and I'm going to use this just real quick. I want to see if I can get away with this because I know this window area is just a little overexposed, so I'm just going to use the polygonal lasso tool. Pop in a mask just like that. Blur the edges out because they're so harsh. Take the opacity down. Take the opacity up incrementally until I reach a point where I like it. Brush this in and then brush it out so it's got a nice smooth look to it. Don't want it to be obvious. And then I'll use that same layer and just try and come in here and subtly paint in the overexposed areas with the light and stuff like that. Do the same thing with that window. It's just a little overexposed. But this is really basic. It's looking decent overall. Here's the before, here's the after. You always want to be careful when it comes to doing these night shots that you don't go overboard with how dark certain areas of the home looks. You want to maintain a nice consistency to it and have it look bright and inviting and colorful without overdoing it. Right? You don't want to go overboard with the saturation and things like that. But this image looks pretty decent overall. One thing that I don't like about this image is the fact that we've got this lens flare coming from this light right here. Actually, it's like I think that's a chandelier, and it's just shining out so bright. So I'm going to see if I can't copy and paste that area, that existing area of these shutters that are on the house, and manipulate that into place. Because if I can minimize that lens flare that we're getting there, that would be great. And it looks like that did the job. That's clean enough. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of spillover right here on the wall, this pillar, but that's fine. It looks decent overall. One thing that I do notice is how how yellow and orange the grass is, you know, and there's nothing that I can really do about that. That's kind of how it looks. It's you know, more yellow and orange over here, and in this area it's more green. You know, one thing that I could do is pop in a hue and saturation layer and just change it more to a green color, and then try and subtly paint that in. But I want to be careful not to go overboard with that, you know. And you know, I changed that and it's still like kind of yellow. Maybe I'll try it one more time. I don't know if that'll work. Yeah, all right, it's decent. But again, I don't want to go overboard. And if you're just going to paint it in, be careful that you're not painting in like, you know, unwanted areas like the driveway or maybe the tree. Things that you don't want to have the color change, you know. Make sure that you're just affecting the area that you do want it to affect change to. Do it here with the so yeah, as I do that, it's actually changing the color of the mulch right here. I just want to kind of brush that in with the plants though, you know. I mean, plants are supposed to be green most of the time. They're looking a little bit yellow. Even that rock is like red. I don't know what's going on with the colors over here. Doesn't look very good though. Maybe I could do something about the rock. Kind of going overboard here, but I mean, what color is going to look better? Should I just desaturate it? I think it might look better like that. I don't think the rock should be green, you know. I don't know of many green rocks. You know, you can make a selection here and be way more accurate, but I think that's fine. There's the before, there's the after, before, after. It looks a lot better. It just looks cleaner, you know. It looks more like a yard. It looks more how a yard should actually work, you know. And I'm just gonna merge all onto a new layer, and then I'll remove this sprinkler head. Remove things that don't need to be in the shot. I don't even know if I can get away with this. Just quickly coming in here using the spot healing brush. It kind of makes that imperfection, that line down, but I think I'll be able to get away with that. Come in here and adjust that area. Make sure it doesn't look terrible. That's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. Make sure that I get rid of that shadow that's on there as well, because I was casting that, you know. Just make things consistent. Just clean up as much as you can. Got this, I don't even know what that is. It's like the bug sprayer or landscaper or something. The sign for the company right there. I like to get rid of those. No free advertising for you. None for you. All right, but yeah, that looks pretty clean. It looks decent overall. Make sure that I didn't go overboard with the lights or anything like that. Make sure the sky looks decent. I'll run my sharpen pass, and I think that's pretty much it, you know. Make it nice and crisp, make it sharp. You know, always do a sharpen pass. You know, you don't want your images to be soft. You know, you can see just how soft and almost like blurry the image is. If I had more time, I would come in here and remove this dead leaf, that dead tree branch right there, but looks all right. I'll just leave it for now, and I'll call it a day with this image.